Alright, what's going on, guys? It is Rio. Today I'm going to be making my Hybrid Melee Musketeer 3v3 setup video. I did just want to do this when I did my 3v3 setups. I did not include any like special setups in Hybrid Melee Musketeer, although it's not like great. I just decided to make this video for fun. So let's get right into it. Just like most of my just like my other my other 5 setups, I'm just gonna start by going over the gear, then we'll go over the other stuff. So, for the hat, the main hat, I use the Hail of Cannonball Super Strike hat. Now, I want to quickly say that on my Hybrid Melee Musketeer, I still like to play her kind of like a similar playstyle to my normal Musketeer, where I'm still, spamming some bombs first, and so I still carry a decent amount of bombs. So I could still spam bombs, and then mid to late game is when I really send in. I don't just full send at the beginning. I can be like a normal bombing musketeer during early and part of mid game, and then as it gets later in the game, that's when I start going for melee hits and one-shotting units. Just to be clear. So the main hat I use, Hail of Cannonball Super Strike. Some other hat options. There's a hide hat, not like a 3v3, but it's a decent option. There's a big guns hat, definitely not for hybrid melee, but just a thought. Hide. I would say the other option, I don't have it on this character right now, I have it on my other musketeer on this account, is the absorb hat. So I'd say either Hail of Cannonball Super Strike hat or absorb hat. The absorb hat is dropped from level 30 group chests, and this corrupted archer's vestment, this hat, the Hail of Cannonball Super Strike, is dropped from the tower. Any level, the 55, 60, or 65 version doesn't really matter, but I would say either this or an absorb are probably some of your best bets for Hybrid Melee Musketeer. For my coat, I am currently using the Vicious Charge, the Ivory Lotus Silks, and I am using the version that gives magic resist, since it's 3v3s, a lot of muskets want to have magic resist against them. Now, I will say that ideally, if I had Brutal Charge on my pet, I'll go over my pet here in a second. It's not the greatest pet, but if I had Brutal Charge on my pet, I wouldn't really need this. And I would, if I had it, I would probably either run English Bill's Obsidian Jacket for stuns, or an Absorb Jacket. Are the other 2 options I'd probably run. Probably, most likely, it would be the True Grit 2 Quick Draw, the Obsidian Bill Jacket, so I'd be able to stun. But since I do not have Brutal on my pet, I have to run that. I have to run Ivory Lotus Silks, and it's whatever. But also, bombs is an option. So I'd say bombs, True Grit, Absorb, or Vicious are going to be like your main best options. Also, you could put a hide if you really wanted to. For the boots, the main boots I use are Boots of the Hidden Blade. It's an Assassin Strike, your Hybrid Melee. So I would probably recommend having 2 Assassins, because that's like a big reason to run Hybrid Melee is for the Assassins and for the melee hits. But I would recommend at the very least you should have at least 1 Assassin, but preferably 2. So I like to use these Boots of the Hidden Blade. Another option, Vicious Charge Boots. Could be an option if you don't have the Assassin, especially if you don't have a Brutal on your pet. You could run Vicious Charge Boots. There's also Hide Boots from the Empire bundle. I have them right here. Gladiator outfit, the tier 9 Gladiator's Gators, right? Hide boots could be good, but I prefer an Assassin, and since I have it, I might as well use it. For the weapon, if you're Hybrid Melee, obviously you want a shooty slashy weapon. The main option most people use is this Haywire Swashbuckler set from either the Dreadnought. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say where gears dropped. This I got from the Bazaar. This I got from Obsidian Bill. And then you can get the Absorb Jacket from level 30 group chests. And you can get this jacket from the tower. And then the boots, these I got from farming Lopan in a group before. These from the tower. These are from, I think, level like 55 and 60 group chests. And then the hide boots are from the Empire bundle. Just want to go over that real quick. These, which are dropped from the Dreadnought or the Blightbeard. Haywire Shot, Haywire Strike, get some extra hits and a pretty decent weapon power. Not bad. But this option, at least in my opinion, is just definitely better for 3v3. Although most people do not have this Darkseid dagger and pistol. Just due to the fact that it's a ranked reward. Not many people have all the champion weapons. Many champion weapons even. But if you have this, I recommend this. It's super, super good. It also looks pretty sick. The poison, especially if you're not running with a swashbuckler, having your own poison is really nice. Because if you can poison like a group of 3 units, you know, that's 3,000 damage right there. So that's super, super good. Yeah, so I'd recommend that. If you don't have that there's like the only 2 main options that I can think of. Any other options are going to be like for like standard musket for the most part. And for the Eyepatch, I would say easily the best one, hands down, is the Assassin Strike. Although if you do not have the Assassin Strike, which by the way I got this from I think Talos second chance chest. But if you do not have the Assassin Strike, Trickshot Eyepatch is a possibility, or also Dispel from Bishop is pretty good. But I would say this is easily the best Eyepatch. And if you have this and you only want to run one Assassin, you can get away with using something else for your boots, like maybe a Hide or a Vicious Charge, something like that. Also, Levy Call boots are a possibility, but definitely for Hybrid Melee, I think the Assassin is better, and having the Assassin Eyepatch is nice, giving you 2 Assassins, some extra accuracy, really, really good. For my Totem, I have this Jewel of Manchu right here. Hail of Cannonballs and Super Strike. It is a pretty good combo. It's kind of like my hat right here. I like running 2 extra Hail of Cannonballs. Some people only run 1. Some people in Hybrid Melee even run no extra bombs because they just like to go for extra, just going for a bunch of melee hits. But personally, I do like that extra Hail of Cannonball Super Strike. This is from the tower. Other options, Valor's Armor, pretty good. The Fort, Valor's Armor. This is from I think Old Jailhouse, and I got this Fort from Lopan. These are some other options. I would say these like the only 3 main options: either Fort, Absorb, or Moo Totem. For the Charm, I usually like to run the Fort, the Ki-Rin's Jade. There's also a better version you can get from Talos second chance chest, but right now the better version's on my other musket. But you know, the -5 accuracy is not the biggest deal. So yeah, that is what I would recommend, is probably a Fort. You can also run an Absorb in this slot, like Trapper's Charm. You could run extra bombs in this slot. Yeah, you could run extra bombs, or I would say these are like probably the main options. So I'd recommend probably a Fort or an Absorb, and then I'd also recommend for your ring slot either a Fort or an Absorb. It's like the same stuff, but just simply the ring version of either the Fort ring or the Absorb ring. Probably they'll play. So yeah, I would recommend having still at least 1 Fort Absorb. You can have more. Just make sure you got some Assassins, hopefully a charge, maybe some extra bombs, and yeah. Finally, the pet. I kind of just put one of my failed normal musket pets on here, so the one that just did not get Overwatch. I just put that on here. I've not made a actual really good Hybrid Melee pet, but it doesn't really matter. Pets are the biggest deal here in this game. Doesn't matter too much. So yeah, that's what I got. Soul Reaver is good for early game combos. Rally is just a nice little heal, not too bad. Regroup is really good for surviving some early game bombs. True Grit is nice, especially if you have it combined with like the True Grit coat. You can get True Grit 3, but even then I have True Grit 1. Elusive, little extra dodge when I'm under half health, and then Burst Fire. We got the Burst Fire for the chains. Now, I would recommend having a Brutal Charge, Burst Fire, and Relentless would probably be like the more important things to have on a pet. But due to the fact that this account is my standard musket account, I kind of just had to go with not a great pet. Regroup and Soul Reaver are still pretty good. Soul Reaver not as much. Also, a Rainbow Bless could be nice. A Backstab for an extra melee hit could be nice. Rally's not too important really. Yeah, so type of pet you want really ideally would be like Burst Fire and Relentless, and hopefully like a Brutal Charge. but my pets are not great. But, you know, it's all good. We can work around that. No big deal. Next, let's go over the power setup that I have. So I have Gunnery and Powder Monkey's Palisade up here. This is for, like, if I am playing for early game combos. I can have these up here for combos, but for the most part, they're not as important, and I end up deleting them. But sometimes I am playing for combos, and then I also have that Soul Reaver up here. So if I am playing for combos, I have some hits that are good for combos. But for the most part, when I am playing Hybrid Melee, I'm trying to play pretty aggressive. Sky Spirit, it's really good early game. You can get your some extra damage on your Chantel snipes. Maybe your Soul Reaver, right? Get some extra damage off. Or mid game, it's just insane agility. I got Nox on slot 5, just in case. You never know if you need the Nox, alright? Very, very useful to have Nox up early enough in case you do need them. We got Wind Spirit. You know, it's just a 10-turn buff if it's early game, and I am, you know, if I am playing for kind of combos, something I can easily delete or just use to get rid of cards. And it's just a good 10-turn buff if you got nothing else really to do. I got my charge nice and early in case I do find a good situation to use it. Maybe they leave a Nazca unforted and I'm able to quickly charge and chain her down using her reactionary epics to trigger my triggers and quick draws and all that. It is pretty darn good. Let me move my gloom right there. Hail of Cannonballs. So when I am spamming, you know, early musket attacks, it is nice to have the Hail of Cannonballs up. So I can always move up, you know, near like a musket line, get some bombs off, and then once I'm ready, I start going for hits with like brutals and assassins and stuff. I got Regroup on slot 9. If they get some early bombs, I can pull this early, just get a quick little group heal. Assassin Strike on slot 10. You know, nice early hit, like I already said. A lot of times I'm going to be going for a lot more bombs early, but if I find a good opportunity to get an early hit off, maybe get a cheap kill on a unit, it's good to have hits up. I got a mini up here, just a nice 10-turn. I can give it to a Nazca or myself, or maybe like a Swashbuckler or something. Just a little extra protection. Another set of bombs. I have my Assassin Gloom. I can honestly probably put Gloom even higher if I find a nice early game poison group. But I do find myself, a lot of the times I still am sitting back kind of early game, getting my bombs off, and I end up using this more like mid to late game on some units. Got a nice Fortress and a VA. Just some shields for it, you know, if I need to fort a Nazca or fort myself. Just keep everyone alive. VA, it's good to have that. In case a unit takes a lot of damage, I can put my VA on. Got my other bombs right here, you know, like I already said, early game bombs. I got a Rally, just a nice early heal here. I have the Hurricane round. Now, unfortunately, with Hybrid Melee Musket, you only have 3 range instead of 6 range. But if you are close, it still is a very nice trick shot. Another Assassin, another solid hit. I got a ranged Super Strike right here. And if I'm already next to a unit, I can double tap on the unit next to me. Another trick shot, little hide, a heal, uncanny, Cloud Spirit. After that, it kind of just gets to be a bunch of trick shots in my hand for late game doing damage. I usually do not keep barricades up with Hybrid Melee Musket, because usually Hybrid Melee Musket I'm trying to play a bit more aggressively, not like the defensive barricade playstyle. Same with me not putting Scatter Spike up. I'm usually trying to play a bit more aggressive, not playing that, you know, slow traps, barricades, defensive playstyle. Also, I should probably put that up a little bit more. Put that sneak attack up. And that stuff on the second page is just pretty much useless stuff. So, next I guess I'll go over what do I have trained. I have naturally Spooky. If you don't have naturally Spooky, it's not the biggest deal. But especially for Hybrid Melee Musket, where I only have 1 rank of Spooky trained, it is nice to have that naturally Spooky. But, you know, whatever you have, not a big deal. But if you are making a new character, naturally Spooky is definitely the way to go. So you got big choppy weapons. That's, I think, just a train Relentless. Like I already said, Spooky 1 trained, extra bomb damage. I'm not able to train Spooky 2 with how I have it trained, because you need like the Relentless and Burst Fire. So usually you're not able to get Spooky 2, but Spooky 1's pretty good. What else do I have? You know, Smash Weapons 2. I think it's just for training Relentless. Yep, there's Relentless trained. Unfortunately, I do not have it on a pet, but I wish I did to have 2 ranks of that. I got Wish Hunter trained, and obviously I have Staffy Weapons for that. Fast 2 for being able to move up the battle board. Now, you know, I think it is possible to maybe not train Witch Hunter and get Spooky 2. I'm not sure though. I did this training of this character a while ago. But it's good to have Witch Hunter, especially in the current 3v3 meta where there's a lot of Witch Doctors. Or if a Privateer decides to bring Shroud, you can really punish them with that Witch Hunter. What else do we have? I only have double tap 2 trained. Don't train the 3rd rank of double tap, preferably. I got burst fire trained, of course. And yeah, that is about it for training. Now, for my companions, I do have companions on this account, but I'm just gonna show you my main Musketeer's companion setups because I have them set the same way, just with more companions, so you can get a better idea for what you want to have trained, probably. So Exeter, he's a really good, strong unit. I have him set up with chains. You can also give him Overwatch 3. Pretty good. Very strong. I recommend using Exeter a lot of the time. Although on Hybrid Melee Musket, you can bring more aggressive units like Goro and Nausicaa, Contessa, and just try to rush them. There's Chantel. Use her every single match. She's insanely really, really good. Goro, I mean, I'd say especially for Hybrid Melee is not a bad option. But I would say probably, you know, if you are going to run Goro, you could like run like Chantel, Goro, Nausicaa for a full rush no strat. But I would say a lot of the time you're going to want like an Exeter, Chantel, and then maybe your third is going to be like a Contessa or a Nausicaa, maybe a Bonnie. But Goro is also pretty darn good just due to how you can rush the Hybrid Melee. Contessa, she's a really strong unit. Nausicaa, especially if you give her chains, she's really good at supporting you. I like putting chains on my Musketeer Nausicaa because I can pop Sky Spirit and send her in. Goro, we already went over. Give him a nice Blade 3 setup. Quick Draw 3 Bonnie. Louis LeBisque. I don't really use him much with Hybrid Melee Musket. I usually use him for more when I'm running my ranged musket for more defensive bomb combo play style. But you know, he's still not too bad. Ratbeard, if there's some melee units, you can run him. Prince Yolfest, pretty underrated with that True Grids. If Lemba's allowed, you know, pretty good. Just some melee units here. So yeah, overall, those are like the units. And I think that's pretty much it for this video. We went over everything Hybrid Melee Musket related for 3v3, all you need to know. I am recording on a new PC, so I don't think I'm going to edit this video, so I am sorry if the video's not edited. I just literally got my new PC. I don't have anything installed. I just want to make this video, get it ready to put out there. So, yeah, that's it, man. Hybrid Melee Musket. Super, super fun. Really fun class to use. 3v3, I think it's actually pretty good. You can have a melee and a ranged class in one. So, yeah, that's it for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.